Namaste, dear ones. I bow to the love and the light that is absolutely in you. Lisa A. Romano, the Breakthrough Life Coach. And like I always say, there is absolutely a light within you. You may not be connected to that light. Your conscious mind might not know how to find that light, but that light is absolutely within you. You have life, you're breathing, life is there. You are enough. And my channel is all about helping you find the path to that light within you and helping you understand that what we experienced in our childhood has absolutely affected, let me shut my computer off, has absolutely affected how we see ourselves. It's hijacked our focal point. It's hijacked our creative mind. And my prayer is that my channel and my meditations and alike and my books and my programs are able to help you connect to the light that is within you. So today I want to give a shout out to Julia, who wrote on my channel, and I'm just going to read you her comment. She said, "Dear Lisa, I am a 24-year-old who has struggled with anxiety, depression, bulimia, and emotionally abusive romantic relationships for what seems to be my whole life. Last week, I finally found the strength to leave my narcissistic boyfriend. I felt like I had hit rock bottom. All I can think about was going back to him. Then I found your videos, and let me say, thank you. You have opened my eyes to so much. Since then, I have taken the time to reflect on myself, my past childhood trauma, and I have even been able to take a step back and gain so much perspective. Your message has eased my pain. Today, I talked with my mom and dad about my codependency and the deep pain from my childhood. My pain was finally validated by them and myself. It all makes sense to me now. The insomnia, the anxiety, the eating disorder, my non-existent self-esteem, and my self-destructive behaviors. I'm finally diving deep into the deep end and beginning my journey of healing. Thank you so much for your messages. You have quite literally saved me from myself. I do have a question for you. Do you believe seeking outside professional help, i.e. psychotherapists and counseling, is necessary for healing? Or do you believe one can heal from journaling, looking inwards, reading, etc.? Just would like your perspective." So first of all, Julia, I want to tell you that I think that you're brilliant. And I am really so happy to learn that you were able to, leave a narcissistic relationship, right? So that's just huge in and of itself. And even though you wanted to go back with him, so let's just make it clear, what was happening was somewhere in your subconscious mind, you had the belief that you should go back to him. And not that perhaps you, maybe in your will, you didn't want to really go back to him, but your belief, the beliefs and the undercurrents that are running the ship, the subconscious mind, and due to childhood programming, you may have felt that you were supposed to go back to him. And that's very, very normal, because if that's all your brain knows, that's all your brain knows. That's the data. Those are the tools in the shed. The brain can only play with the tools in the shed. And the brain can only work with the programs that have been downloaded. So if all you know is narcissistic abuse, then it makes sense to understand that leaving a narcissistic relationship, even if it's painful, is not the easiest thing to do. And some of us actually go back to the narcissist over time until it really, really, really gets bad, or they discard us because they've got another supply, and they've started their smear campaign and everything else. So brilliant, good for you. I'm so happy for you, Julia. The other thing that I wanted to say is that I am so grateful that you took a shot and spoke to your parents about what you were feeling. And I really want to give your parents a shout out for validating your wounds and not shutting you down, because generally that is not what happens. I want to speak to the beauty of being validated. So this is what we all need. When we have been wounded in childhood and those wounds go unacknowledged, those wounds are in us. We have an emotional experience, but we have not been allowed to psychologically validate that experience, and that keeps us stuck. So what you did was, through watching my videos, according to you, you felt validated. Oh, I'm not crazy. There's a reason I am bulimic. There's a reason I have this issue. There's a reason I feel this pain. There's a reason I'm depressed. Oh, I'm not crazy. And then through the message that I put out there, validated you, you felt validated, and then you speak to your mom, and your mother validates you. That is just awesome. And so this is a beautiful validation cycle, and now your higher mind has got to continue to honor your inner child. And if you continue to do that and bear witness for yourself and have empathy for yourself, you will continue to heal. So stay on that path. And in the meantime, I would suggest staying out of relationships for a while, because until you really love yourself and until you know that you're valuable, you can't really attract somebody that you could hold accountable for treating you like you're worthy and like you're valuable, okay? So that's an important point there, Miss Julia. Now, the question that you asked me is that, is it possible to heal without professional help? I prefer not to get stuck in yes and no and black and white thinking. I think there are phenomenal psychotherapists out there. I actually have coached a few of them. And as a matter of fact, early on in my journey, I worked with a psychotherapist, and he was the one who said to me, "You are not crazy, but you are codependent." And I was like, what? Like, what? What do you mean? You know, and he says, "You're not crazy, but you're codependent." And it really was, I took that word codependent and I researched the hell out of it. And then I started studying child psychology. So he opened the door for me, and he helped me have these aha awakening moments. But to be perfectly honest, I took that baton and I ran with it, and I didn't stop, and I'm still not stopping. I'm still learning. I have met people who have been able to heal without professional help, but I don't recommend it, or I don't always recommend it. I think that everybody's story is different. If you're talking about sexual abuse, then, and remembering those traumatic events, if you're talking about torture, if you're talking about, things along those lines where children have experienced horrific, trauma that creates terrible flashbacks, and a flashback is basically a memory and then the equivalent emotional counterpart to that memory. So flashback is actually normal. That's the way the brain's designed. But being able to process and sit in your body while having a flashback can be very uncomfortable. And I do think that it's best to work with a professional who can help you process that trauma. I think it's awesome to have a support system. Absolutely awesome. And I don't think it hurts unless the therapist isn't qualified. Unless the psychotherapist is not qualified, unless the professional you're reaching out to is not qualified, which happens. There are good doctors and there are bad doctors. There are great mechanics and there are bad mechanics. There are great dentists and there are bad dentists. There are great beauticians and there are not so great beauticians. And the same holds true with psychiatrists and psychologists and therapists. It's just, shoemakers, we're all the same. Candlestick makers, whatever. Bread makers, some bread bakers are good and some bread bakers are bad. You get the picture. So you really have to be your own advocate. So when you're out and about looking for a therapist, I would say, do some research first on the therapist and do some research on what you think your issue is. And so, if a buzzword for you is codependency, and if a buzzword for you is attachment disorder or trauma, then go in knowing that the therapist should be able to help you work through those particular issues. And some therapists are more skilled with, let's say, love addiction than they are sexual abuse. So I do think that it is beneficial for you to be your own advocate, do your own homework, know that therapists and psychotherapists and psychiatrists, they're there to help you. They are there to help support and nurture your emotional, psychological, and spiritual growth. Now, what happens, I think, in lots of times is that patients and clients go into a therapist's office and they feel this one-up. They feel like the therapist is the authority or the psychiatrist is the authority. And so I think if we can go into therapists and therapeutic relationships knowing that this person's there to help me, and if we can see them more as our equal and listen to what they're saying and be objective about what they're saying, lots of times, doctors, for instance, will tell a family that, oh, your mother only has 3 months to live, and it's 6 years later. Be objective about the information that you're receiving. and try to go into a therapeutic relationship feeling more balanced. Because once you give someone else the authority over your life, no matter, you are influenced by everything that comes out of their mouth, and everything that comes out of their mouth might not necessarily be correct. So do your research, know your buzzwords, do your own analysis and research on the internet about what you think your issue is. Go in prepared. Go in knowing that this person is there to support you. Try to go in there not seeing this person as a complete authority over you, because you're going to feel like a child. Go in knowing that that person is supposed to support you. You're supposed to leave feeling somewhat satisfied and somewhat clearer. I think if we go into therapeutic situations with this one-up, like this person is so much smarter than me. Let's say, for instance, this person really doesn't understand attachment trauma. I think that could do more damage than good. So you must be your own advocate. You must be, in every situation, you must be your own advocate. Whether you're taking your car into the shop, or you're taking your body into a doctor's office, or you're taking your heart, your mind, and your soul into a therapist's office. You must be your own advocate. But certainly I believe that it is possible to heal with the right knowledge, with the right guidance, and with the right information. So, in any way that you can get that, dear one. Namaste. Thank you, Julia, for commenting on my channel and for being such a warrior of emotional recovery, and being able to boot that narcissist to the side and begin your journey towards self-love and self-empathy and validating the self. Namaste, dear ones. I bow to the love and the light that is absolutely within you. I remember waking up and having my perception about myself and the world begin to change, and beginning to realize just how beautiful this earth really was. Suddenly, colors were brighter, and trees weren't just trees anymore. They were works of art. And suddenly, a walk on a cliff turned into an experience that was almost hard to put into words. Ignoring the abundance around me was simply impossible. And the more I tapped into that abundance, it seemed the more abundance I was able to attract. Everywhere I looked, it was impossible to not see love and abundance. It turned out, because I was finally able to see abundance and love in myself, I was able to see love outside of myself, and people were able to see love inside of me as well. Life is an adventure, and the more abundance you see inside of yourself, the more abundance you can see outside of yourself, the more abundant your life experience can be.